They have the right to do that. Doge head Elon Musk says he's not going away, even though his time as a special government employee ends today.
I'll continue to be visiting here and be a friend and advisor to the president.
He says that he would like to give the president advice when asked, and he says Doge's work will continue. This is many states, including Maryland, have filed multiple lawsuits challenging the legality of Doge's actions. A tornado watch has been issued for the entire DMV until midnight. The National Weather Service says a couple of tornadoes isolated hail the size of ping pong balls and wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour are all possible. That's in addition to a flood watch that goes into effect at 7 tonight and lasts through early tomorrow morning. There are a bunch of other watches and warnings about severe weather in
wrong with this fucking
for
thing?
areas throughout the region. Checking your money, the Dow today closing up 54 points and NASDAQ finishing down 62. Traffic and weather next.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills.
Fucking
Thomas J.
cold
Henry,
now.
we believe you deserve justice, no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio and Dallas, Texas.
Let's be honest, most of us never think about their garage door until it breaks, and then it's panic mode. That's why I count on Wellborn's Garage to keep mine running smooth, quiet, and reliable. It's Hawkeye, and a broken garage door isn't just something that's annoying, it's also a safety risk. Wellborn's 5-star service keeps yours running smoothly with same-day repairs. Say Hawkeye when you book and get the Hawkeye 100. $100 toward anything at Wellborn. Scheduling is easy. Just go to callwellborngarage.com.
Open the door to quality and more. Wellborn Garage Doors.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside.
These fucking
Thousands of people are
birds.
using it to get rid of their toe fungus.
Look at
You can check it out at crystalflush.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
Here's Michelle Murray in the Hadid Perfect Cleaning Traffic Center.
The district on the freeway eastbound at Main Avenue, there's a disabled vehicle in the left lane. That is traffic jam from the 14th Street Bridge. A disabled vehicle also reported on the westbound side before Main Avenue, which also blocks the left lane. That is traffic jammed up from the 3rd Street Tunnel. Also, you will still find delays on 395 north, Albertine 110 and the 14th Street Bridge, and the southbound side is slow from Washington Boulevard towards Duke Street. 95, still delays southbound between Springfield and Woodbridge and from Dale City in towards Dumfries, and some delays heading in towards Falmouth. Now from GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch and forecast. Thunderstorms this evening. We could be dealing with downpours, also damaging winds, hail, even an isolated weak tornado not out of the question. Temperatures into the 50s and 60s overnight. Tomorrow, cooler and breezy, upper 60s. Still a chance for rain. I'm 7 News' Eileen Whalen. Right now, 74 degrees in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
He's here. Now broadcasting from the underground command post. Deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. By the way, fantastic show tomorrow night on Life, Liberty, and Levin. We have Michael Duran, an expert on Iran. We have David Mamet. Remember David Mamet, Mr. Producer? Probably the greatest current screenwriter and playwright, period. You know, he, over the years, he took a journey from sort of radical left, and now he's an outspoken, solid conservative and Trump supporter. But he's written a fantastic book that's just fascinating. He's got a new movie coming out. And anyway, I wanted to talk to him. So he'll be on the program. And again, Michael Duran is, he's the guy that wrote and exposed what Biden was doing with Iran and that whole policy that was coming out of the Biden regime. We'll want to talk about that. But I have my opening statement as well tomorrow night. I want to get into that heavily. Not tonight, but when I do it. And I think you're going to love the show tomorrow night. 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Hit your DVRs. Watch it live. I think you're going to love it. Now, there's a couple of things I want to talk about today. But I want to start with something that's very, very important. The President talked about it today, tariffs and judges. And, you know, when it comes to these things, the constitutional things, this is really stop one on your trip, I think. But I want to make something clear. I started this the other day. I think it was Wednesday. Doesn't matter. What is the real issue here with the tariffs? Now, I'm not talking about the economic issue, okay? Some are for them, some are against them, some are halfway. I'm not really using this time to talk about the efficacy or lack thereof of tariffs. I want to talk about the Constitution, not the economic consequences of tariffs, okay? We have this court, International Court of Trade. Most people never heard of it before. I hadn't heard of it, but I certainly have researched it now. It's a legitimate court created by Congress. That's how we create the lower courts, by Congress. Only the Supreme Court's in the Constitution, but Congress is authorized to create these other courts or abolish them for that matter. Congress also has the power to limit their jurisdiction. Congress has a lot of power that it doesn't exercise. It's like the treaty clause when it comes to the Iran deal, as I mentioned. The treaty clause. Is Congress, the Senate in particular, are they going to assert their power? Because they seem to just roll over and play dead a lot, which they're free to do, but I'm just telling you about the consequences. So here we have the Constitution, which gives plenary, very broad power to Congress to tax, to spend, to create debt, and so forth and so on. So in 1977, Congress passes this law. It's kind of an emergency law. And they empower the president under this federal statute to take steps if he thinks it's in the best interest of the country. And there's now a fight over what that means. And so this court stepped in. It had private litigants, private petitioners. And they said, while the president is expanding this language, he's abusing the language. He's got across-the-board tariffs, and that's not what was contemplated. And that's outside the scope of the language. And besides, Congress doesn't have the power to delegate all this to the executive branch. And so we have a brilliant opinion from this court. I read it this morning, 60-some pages. If you're in a hurry, read the last 30 or 40. And they say, look, that's correct. What President Trump has done on tariffs is there's no boundaries. Their word. It's unbounded is actually the word they use. Across the board tariffs, reciprocal tariffs. You know, at first it was over fentanyl, and then maybe it was over something else, but now it's just across the board. So some of the legal analysts today, they're on TV and they're saying, yeah, that's a problem there. It really is, because this power, the president can't seize the power from Congress. And Congress can't give the president this kind of power, even if we interpret it the way the administration wants us to interpret it. Stay with me, folks. Stay with me. We always get to the bottom, but we have to explain it. And so even conservatives are saying, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's the way it is. That's the conservative view. The liberals, of course, are saying yes, because of political reasons, they want to kill the president's terrorists. They don't really give a damn. There's a big problem with this analysis. First of all, it's wrong. See, I don't start at Supreme Court decisions. I start at the Constitution. That's where I go, to the Constitution. We've had a lot of bad court decisions, including from the Supreme Court over the course of our history. Whether it's Dred Scott or Plessy versus Ferguson or Korematsu or a whole list of them. And some great ones, but that's not the point. What was the judiciary supposed to be? Well, we know what the judiciary was supposed to be because our framers weren't quiet about it. They were quite outspoken about it, and they spent a lot of time talking about it and writing about it. So we have Madison's notes, and there are other notes, by the way, not just his, but his are the most comprehensive and accurate. We have the Federalist Papers. That was Madison, John Jay, and of course Hamilton. And Hamilton and Madison were the most prolific, Hamilton being the most prolific in terms of the Federalist Papers. John Jay, I think, wrote 6 of them, and he became the first Chief Justice of the United States, by the way. Nominated by Washington and confirmed by the Senate. Well, what did they say? Ladies and gentlemen, I've studied Madison's notes. I've studied the Federalist Papers. I've actually studied the state ratification papers that are available. Some are available in 9 of the 13 states. You can look at some of the other writings. You can look at some of the things they actually did and did not do. And you know what they didn't do? 2 things. They didn't give the courts the power to have the final word. It's not in there. In fact, judicial review is not in there. Now, law school students, law school professors, former federal this, former federal that, all the lawyers are listening to me right now going, what the hell is this guy talking about? You want to know why? Because this is how they've been mentally trained. This is what's been beaten into their heads, especially with litigators, trial lawyers. This is what's been beaten into their heads, especially with appellate lawyers. This is what's been beaten in their head. You know, personal injury lawyers, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the guys that actually have to fight on constitutional grounds and so forth. So it's been beaten into their heads. And yet they can't cite a single statement made at the Constitutional Convention, any ratification convention, or in the Federalist Papers. Not one place, not one framer, not one ratifier can they cite for their proposition. Not one. There are none. That's not what this Constitution created. And so, and I discussed this about 48 hours ago, 2 days ago, but this is what our law schools pound into people. This is what our professors pound into people. This is what litigators have been trained to think. This is what they think. This is what they believe. But so what? Now, what does this have to do with anything? It has to do with everything. In all these cases that are brought, but I want to focus on the tariffs. In this decision, this court framed this as a separation of powers issue. And they're right. Separation of powers, that the president doesn't have these powers. Over Reason magazine, the radical libertarians, their lawyers, did the same thing. Separation of powers, the Constitution says this power belongs to Congress, and that's that. But Congress also passed this 1977 act, I'll call it this Emergency Act, that empowered the president, delegated the president, certain fairly broad authority. If you read it, it's pretty broad. Okay. So who are the litigants? They're private litigants. The petitioners who brought the cases, they sued to prevent the tariffs, and they argued that this power belongs to Congress. And so these judges take it up and they say, you're right, this power belongs to Congress. Where did this court get the power to do that? You see, the way the Constitution's constructed and the way the framers of the Constitution believed this should have been handled is by Congress, not some court. That is, you have three branches of government, all vying for power. These are congressional powers under the Constitution. The delegation was congressional to executive. If Congress wants to prevent the president from doing what he's doing, Congress can prevent the president from doing what he's doing. But Congress didn't prevent the president from doing what he's doing. Doesn't matter because it's Republican majority in both houses. Well, Mark, what do you expect? They're not going to do anything. So what? What, you're going to have Democrats in there all the time so they can challenge the president? That's the great thing about elections. In 4 years, you can elect a new president. In 2 years, you can elect a new House and 1/3 of the Senate. So there is, in fact, a way for we the people, to show our view through our election and through our representatives. But when a court rules, we have no say in anything. It's the litigants and the decision of the court imposed on the executive branch. How do we fix that? Well, you can appeal. I said, how do you actually fix that? Why did this court take this case? This court should have said, you're in the wrong place, petitioners. You need to go to Congress. And if you can convince a majority of Congress to pass a law, then go ahead and do it. Now, the president might veto it and so forth and so on. I'm not going to get into the weeds. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is they're in the wrong place under our constitutional construct, not under the way it is perceived and discussed today, but what the framers intended. The separation of powers battle is between the Congress and the president. Did the Congress bring a lawsuit? No. Did the Congress take any effective steps other than Rand Paul and Tim Kaine? I've looked at it. Huffing and puffing, passing a resolution. Did they take any effective steps to pass a law? No. Did the House of Representatives take up the issue at all? No. And it's congressional power that the court says it's protecting. But the court has no say. If Congress wishes to protect its power, it can act or not. And yet, it did what it did. Not a newspaper in the country has discussed this, whether the court even had the authority. Not a single lawyer on TV that I watched even raised the issue. Because we've reached the point in a post-constitutional America that we've conferred all this power. Let me check that the courts have stolen all this power and we've accepted it as righteous, as proper, and constitutional when it's not. When it absolutely is not. They wanted a council of judicial, a handful of the delegates, when the Constitution was being written. It was rejected overwhelmingly, even though Madison was one of them who recommended it. A council of the judicial, meaning what? That they had some kind of council with a president, members of the court, who would oversee what Congress is doing. They said, no. Why? Why? Because that would violate separation of powers. And so this case with tariffs is illustrative of all these other cases. I want to continue this when I return. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
You heard the news. Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange. and listed on the big board. Millions of Americans like you are joining our news revolution. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top 12 news brands in America. Even President Trump says it's terrific. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax, and its audience grew 50% since the same time last year. Millions really are making the switch to Newsmax. If you want to be a Newsmax share owner, call your advisor or get more info at newsmaxinvest.com. Stand with Newsmax today for a strong America. This communication is for informational purposes only and shall not be intended to or shall not constitute any offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation, or sale would be unlawful.
A couple of disabled vehicles on the freeway, one east and one westbound at Main Avenue, all cleared, but the eastbound side still heavy from the 14th Street Bridge to the 3rd Street Tunnel, and watch for delays westbound between 6th and 7th Street and the 14th Street Bridge. In Leesburg, a portion of Shreve Mill Road is still closed in both directions at the Dulles Greenway, and in Alexandria, a couple of accidents, one on Telegraph Road at Jeff Todd Way, and the other one on South Kings Highway at Tower Drive. Traffic still slow on the outer loop from the Springfield Interchange to the Wilson Bridge, and also slow from the Leesburg Pike to the Little River Turnpike. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, strong to severe storms possible. A potential for 1 to 2 inches of rain and flash flooding, lows around 58. Tomorrow, a chance of rain, breezy with highs in the upper 60s.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Dallas, Texas.
Let's be honest, most of us never think about their garage door until it breaks, and then it's panic mode. That's why I count on Wellborn Garage to keep mine running smooth, quiet, and reliable. It's Hawkeye, and a broken garage door isn't just something that's annoying, it's also a safety risk. Wellborn's 5-star service keeps yours running smoothly with same-day repairs. Say Hawkeye when you book and get the Hawkeye 100. $100 toward anything at Wellborn. Scheduling is easy. Just go to callwellborngarage.com.
Open the door to quality and more. Wellborn Garage Doors.
Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Junk journaling. It's certainly having a moment. What is it? Well, exactly what it sounds like. You tape or you glue small mundane things from your everyday life into a journal. The idea is that it forces you to appreciate the little things. You don't sit down with a pen and extrapolate grand thoughts at the end of a day like you normally would. Instead, you stick a receipt, a clothing tag, a business card onto a page. Maybe you jot down a few words to go with the memento. Maybe you don't. What you're doing is something called romanticizing your life. It's a form of practicing gratitude, actually, something that has been shown to be good for your health. Now, one woman we spoke to about this said, these glue sticks are sort of her Xanax. They help calm her down and chill. It's also a great way to decompress and get yourself offline for a little while. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
I am Michael Rosenbaum. I am Tom Welling. Welcome to Talkville, where it's fun to talk about Smallville. We're going to be talking to sometimes guest stars.
Are you liking the direction Lois is going in?
Yeah, because I'm getting more screen time.
It's good.
But mostly it's just me and Tom remembering.
I think we all feel like there was a scene missing here.
You got me, Tom.
Let's revisit it. Let's look at it. See what we remember.
See what we remember.
I had never been around anything like that before. I mean, it was so fun.
Talkville.
Talkville.
I just had a flashback.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Let's get into it.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice, no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio and Dallas, Texas.
WMAL, making sense of education, because what's happening in your kid's school matters. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
You just learned more in about 20 minutes than they learn in law school, or the people who've practiced law for 30 years even understand or comprehend. So what these courts are doing in every one of these cases, and what this court is doing in particular on the separation of powers argument, is it's standing in the shoes of a Congress that hasn't acted in any respect. It hasn't even moved an inch to challenge what the president is doing. And he uses the excuse of private petitioners to do it. So Congress, certainly majority, didn't want to do anything. But a 3-judge panel of unelected judges, they wanted to completely kill the tariff program. Again, this is not about tariffs per se. So what is this? What do we call this? What do we call this when a court assigns to itself this kind of power to stand in the shoes of Congress, even though Congress isn't even giving them its shoes to stand in? What do we call this? More when we return.
What if the dollar was no longer the world's reserve currency? According to former IMF chief economist Kenneth Rogoff, that future is coming faster than you think. His new book, Our Dollar, Your Problem, reveals how rising debt, inflation, and global de-dollarization could lead to a full-blown currency crisis, one that could wipe out retirement accounts tied to the stock market or the dollar. That's why Advantage Gold is giving away free copies of this urgent book when you schedule your one-on-one precious metals appointment. You'll learn how to legally move your IRA or 401k into physical gold and silver, avoid taxes and penalties using a little-known IRS-approved strategy, and how to receive up to $10,000 in free gold and silver when you qualify. Protect your retirement before it's too late. Call 800-324-9902 now. That's 800-324-9902. Or visit AdvantageGold.com to claim your free copy. There's no cost, just the truth. No precious metals purchase necessary. Call 800-324-9902 now. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional. WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington. A Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 6:30. I'm Heather Curtis. Breaking this hour, President Trump telling steel workers at a plant in Pittsburgh moments ago that next week
we're going to bring it from 25% to 50%, the tariffs on steel into the United States.
He says the higher tariffs will further secure the American steel industry. Severe weather's moving into the DMV, including potential tornadoes.
We do have tornado watch that extends until midnight tonight, but I think that's going to come down ahead of schedule.
7 News meteorologist Steve Rudin of Flood Watch goes into effect at 7 tonight and lasts through early tomorrow morning. Traffic and weather next.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 5-star reviews on Google. So who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Dallas, Texas.
Let's be honest, most of us never think about their garage door until it breaks, and then it's panic mode. That's why I count on Wellborn Garage to keep mine running smooth, quiet, and reliable. It's Hawkeye, and a broken garage door isn't just something that's annoying, it's also a safety risk. Wellborn's 5-star service keeps yours running smoothly with same-day repairs. Say Hawkeye when you book and get the Hawkeye 100. $100 toward anything at Wellborn. Scheduling is easy. Just go to callwellborngarage.com.
Open the door to quality and more. Wellborn Garage Doors.
For a local news source you can trust, visit WMAL.com.
Thank God for that.
Get the day's top stories. Stream your favorite WMAL shows. Access our podcast archives and more. WMAL.com. Making sense of your world online.
Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
Your phone has a lot of apps, but how many of them help you make sense of your world? The new WMAL app gives you the latest headlines, perspective from the voices you trust, and weather info to keep you in the know, all without having to remember yet another password.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
Thank you.
Get the WMAL app today on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice, no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio and Dallas, Texas.
Let's be honest, most of us never think about their garage door until it breaks, and then it's panic mode. That's why I count on Wellborn Garage to keep mine running smooth, quiet, and reliable. It's Hawkeye, and a broken garage door isn't just something that's annoying, it's also a safety risk. Wellborn's 5-star service keeps yours running smoothly with same-day repairs. Say Hawkeye when you book and get the Hawkeye 100. $100 toward anything at Wellborn. Scheduling is easy. Just go to callwellborngarage.com.
Open the door to quality and more. Wellborn Garage Doors.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Making sense of your world.
Greatly appreciated.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
I love listening to you.
Making sense of the news. Breaking news and the inside story on 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Mark Levin, radio's principal patriot. Call in now at 877-381-3811.
Let's take this just a little bit further, and then we'll move along. I know some people want to keep moving along, but there's a lot of people who find this kind of discussion very, very compelling and very interesting, and that's why they're here. We do things a little differently. I have a different background. I didn't go to school to be a radio host. I just became a radio host, really more accidental than anything else. So separation of powers, that goes to the core of everything. And yet this court, in acting as it did, it violated separation of powers, as most of these other courts are doing right now. They claim to be standing up to the president grabbing too much power when the courts are grabbing the power. There's 677 federal district judges. I'm not counting this court, that's separate, but 677. So as I said the other day, you have to satisfy almost every one of them in order to go through this gauntlet, because there's going to be plenty of petitioners, that is plaintiffs. They're going to bring one case after another in form shop. I mean, that's crazy. That's not our Constitution. So we're living in a post-constitutional period where we have federal district judges doing what federal district judges are not empowered to do. We have a Chief Justice of the United States that basically said the Supreme Court has the final word. That's not what the Constitution says. That's not what a single framer of the Constitution said, or anybody at the ratification conventions. And yet, many of the lawyers out there will be scratching their heads and saying, well, Mark, what do we do? I just gave you a perfect example in the tariff case. That court should have said, that's not our authority. Go to Congress. Because we, the people, in the end, we have to consent to these things. We don't like tariffs. Next time around, we vote for somebody who doesn't like tariffs. Or we vote for members of Congress who will fight the tariffs. That's all. Well, the president doesn't have the authority to do this. That's not clear. When you read the 1977 Act, it's not clear that he doesn't have the authority to do it. There's obviously two sides of that, maybe more. But who gets to decide? In this case, Congress gets to decide. Well, they're not going to. Well, then that's up to them. But this is not a fundamental issue where the president of the United States says, guess what? I'm passing legislation. There, you would have Congress fighting it, and there, the courts would have a legitimate role. Here, it's a concoction. It's a tariffs law, not a tariffs law, a trade law, 1977, conferring power on the president. The president exercises the power, and the court says, no, you've gone too far. But even though Congress didn't. Father's Day is around the corner. I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to persuade as many of you as possible to get your pre-order copy of On Power. This is all in there. All these things we talk about, whether it's the Marxists and the Islamists, whether it's separation of powers, whether it's tariffs, it's all these things that are going on. Positive power, as I call it, negative power, as I call it. All these things that everybody else talks about at a superficial level, and they're not even clear why they are. You're going to learn all about these things. But I think your father, your husband, your grandfather are going to find this as a fantastic gift. Let me read you a short passage related to what's taking place. And if you notice, over the past 2 weeks here and there, as we get into these issues, I go back to the book because it all goes back to power. And what's interesting about it, too, is this book is not only philosophical, and it's heavily philosophical. It's not only based on principle, it's heavily based on principle. But it is applicable to everything that's going on today, which is the whole premise of the point on power. We talk about Montesquieu. Why do we talk about this guy, Montesquieu? Because Montesquieu was the most important philosopher to the framers of the Constitution. Locke was the most important philosopher to the revolutionaries. But when it came down to writing a constitution, they looked at several things, several individuals, but Montesquieu is mentioned often, including in the Federalist Papers. So it's important to know, what did he say? And he wrote a fantastic book, Spirit of the Law, that the framers of your Constitution read. Spirit of the Laws. What did he say? Let's go to the book. He explained that democracy and autocracy are not free states by their nature. Political liberty is found only in moderate governments. And what he means by democracy is mobocracy. In autocracy, he would mean what we would refer to today as sort of this fascist, Marxist kind of formulation. Political liberty is found only in moderate governments, but it is not always in moderate states. So he would have viewed the United States as a moderate government, but that doesn't mean there's political liberty here. It could mean we're losing it. It is present, here you go, only when power is not abused, but it has eternally been observed that any man who has power is led to abuse it. He continues until he finds limits. Who would think it? Even virtue has need of limits. So that one cannot abuse power, power must check power by the arrangement of things. Power must check power. A constitution can be such that no one will be constrained to do the things that the law does not oblige him to do, or be kept from doing the things the laws permit him to do.
What the fuck is wrong with this?
So Montesquieu further warns, apropos to this whole tariff debate,
Shit.
that should the distinct nature of these branches, the legislative, the judicial, the executive, should the distinct nature of these branches dissolve, and transition from separation of powers to the concentration of powers, this is me writing, the result would be tyranny. Tyranny. Here's what he said. When legislative power is united with executive power in a single person, or in a single body of the magistrate, there's no liberty. Because one can fear that the same monarch or senate that makes tyrannical laws will execute them tyrannically. nor is there liberty if the power of judging, here you go, is not separate from the legislative power and from the executive power. If it were joined to the legislative power, the power over the life and liberty of the citizens would be arbitrary, where the judge would be the legislator, and that's exactly what we have today. If it were joined to executive power, the judge could have the force of an oppressor. Also exactly what we have today. All would be lost if the same man or the same body of principal men, either of nobles or of the people, exercise these three powers, that of making the laws, of executing public resolutions, and that of judging the crimes or the disputes of individuals. And notice, too, Montesquieu's observation that tyranny is not unique solely to despots, but it is also to be feared in the form of groups, bodies, and mobs, even legislatures. And it is to be feared in democracies. We're a republic. We're not going to get into that. That's a separate issue, but in what he would refer to as a democracy. So what did this court do, this trade court do? What are these lower federal courts doing? They are conducting themselves in tyrannical ways. And you will find almost no people commenting on TV who are former federal prosecutors, who are professors, almost no, making this point. The point is right there in the spirit of the laws. The point is right there in the way our government's set up. The point is right there in the Federalist Papers. It's right there. So much in life, I write in On Power, orbits around this word, this idea, this belief of power. And most of the discussion, to the extent it exists at all, in an honest and coherent fashion, is in the form of generalities, sloganeering, demagoguery, and the like, used by politicians and media and ideologues and academicians to manipulate, to confound, deceive, in which case power is used to control thought, discussion, and language. That's going on today, too. I pulled three newspapers, the New York Post, I think it was the Washington Times, and the Washington Post. Two good newspapers out of the three, the Post being the worst. And not one of them, in writing up their front page stories about tariffs, not one of them brought up this issue of who has the power to do what. The court wrote an exquisite opinion saying that Donald Trump does not have the power to do what he's doing. But who has the power to make that decision? Congress. Because the power we're talking about is in the Constitution.
What is she?
This applies to, I'll broadly say, trade or commerce, not the courts. And Congress has done absolutely nothing about it. Nothing. Tariffs per se are not in the Constitution, not even in the clause that I'm talking about. But that's okay. We know that it incorporates tariffs. But the president isn't seizing that power from Congress in the Constitution. The issue here is a 1977 statute passed by Congress in its legislative power, delegating authority to the executive because Congress itself does not have the ability to execute. And so it's delegating to the executive certain powers when it comes to trade and its effect on national security, the economy, and so forth on an emergency basis. So the debate flows from Congress's power and then its delegation of certain emergency authority to the executive, to the president. And you have private petitioners who don't like the tariffs. That's fine. And they go in. It's not like a contract case where the federal court in a federal contract case would have authority. This is totally different than that. They're saying, no, Congress doesn't have the power to pass that law and give the president the kind of power that he's using today. First, they argue that they didn't. Then they argue even if they did, they can't. And the court says, okay, you're right. And the court should have said, okay, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, you're just in the wrong place. That's what Montesquieu would say. That's what the framers of your Constitution would say. Seriously. Among others, Jefferson would be disgusted by this. And he wouldn't be alone. Madison would be disgusted by this. They were disgusted by the Marbury versus Madison decision, in which the Supreme Court effectively seized ultimate judicial review and authority, and which is really what John Roberts claims and the other judges and justices claim is a brilliant decision. It wasn't a brilliant decision. It changed our constitutional construct almost from the beginning, 1803. So if you really want to talk about the Constitution and what was intended and what the framers did and what the ratifiers did, I'm right. If you want to talk about what the courts have done, court after court, the precedent of the courts, then they're right. And that's how they've been trained, and that's their mindset, and that's that. And they're wrong. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
You'll still find delays on 270 northbound between Shady Grove Road and Middlebrook Road, and some delays through Bethesda as well. In Bethesda, Goldsboro Road is still closed between MacArthur Boulevard and Tulip Hill Terrace due to fallen power cables in the roadway, so do be aware of that. In Hillendale, there is an accident on southbound New Hampshire Avenue before Powder Mill Road, and in Fairfax, watch out for crash activity on 123 at University Drive. On 395 northbound between Boundary Channel and the GW Parkway, a disabled vehicle is still blocking the right lane. Traffic is slow from 110, and delays continue to the 14th Street Bridge. Now from GarageRainFair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, strong to severe storms possible. A potential for 1 to 2 inches of rain and flash flooding, lows around 58. Tomorrow, a chance of rain, breezy with highs in the upper 60s.
Let's be honest, most of us never think about their garage door until it breaks, and then it's panic mode. That's why I count on Wellborn Garage to keep mine running smooth, quiet, and reliable. It's Hawkeye, and a broken garage door isn't just something that's annoying, it's also a safety risk. Wellborn's 5-star service keeps yours running smoothly with same-day repairs. Say Hawkeye when you book and get the Hawkeye 100. $100 toward anything at Wellborn. Scheduling is easy. Just go to callwellborngarage.com.
Open the door to quality and more. Wellborn Garage Doors.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 5-star reviews on Google. So who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Dallas, Texas.
Bravo TV star Lala Kent holds nothing back.
I think the boundaries are getting a little unboundaried, but that's fine.
From relationships,
It's grabbing coffee with your friends. That
Hey,
is
right up my alley.
Right?
to business and beyond.
Where there's history, true friendships, but it's fine. I've also been a rat. I'm obsessed with her. I hate her. Literally the exact same
If
feeling.
you really want to party,
You have to have the perfect combination.
Give them Lala. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
At Average Amy's Coffee Corner, our coffee has caffeine, our muffins are cooked, and our services, well, we're here. Come on by for an average cup of joe.
Average doesn't build great businesses. Cumulus Digital does, outperforming industry benchmarks by more than 25%. We deliver smarter digital marketing to over 4,000 local businesses every month and drive real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your marketing results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
It's so vitally important that we have Leukemia Lymphoma Society on our side, be the front runner in technologies for fighting cancer.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/liberty. That's ethos.com/liberty.
You know, Americans love using their credit cards, one of the most secure and hassle-free ways to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com, guardyourcard.com, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with everything you're saying.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
My heart just breaks for what's going on.
I've been sitting outside.
WMAL, making sense of the forecast.
Time to
Because
post.
you never know what Mother Nature has in store. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
It's like really nice out. 6:47 and it's 6:54. So not very long ago.
It's not a threat. I mean this with every fiber in my body. Look, we've been responsible for a lot of actions here. The Convention of States, Mark Meckler and I. No question about it. The Tea Party movement. Spontaneous plus on this radio show. Honestly, the opposition to so-called immigration reform under George Bush, we led that charge right here behind this microphone. We led that charge right here. Our involvement in crucial primaries, not just for Hillsdale College's free online courses are fantastic. Hillsdale recently launched a new course, Understanding Capitalism. I mentioned you have 7 lectures within the course. They talk about the role of profit and loss.
Why is my machine fucking doing that? Fucking
Why
hesitate,
capitalism depends
motherfucker.
on private property rights, the rule of law, above all, freedom. That's why the left hates it. Why capitalism is ultimately a system that encourages morality rather than undermines it.
Guess I got to do this first.
Of course, folks. 7 different lectures. You know, if you have children or grandchildren, very important to expose them to this. Go right to levinforhillsdale.com to enroll. That's LEVIN for Hillsdale.com. There's no cost. It's easy to get started. That's levinforhillsdale.com to register for free. LEVIN for Hillsdale.com. You're going to love this course. All right, we will move on. That was our constitutional lesson for the day, but I always feel an imperative to share, you know, these sorts of things with you folks. I think it's very, very important. And I'm going to continue to do that. And I hope you'll grab your copy of On Power. Look, many of you are thinking, look, the book doesn't come out for 2 months. Leave me alone. That's okay. I'm trying to encourage you to pre-order it now so you get a better discount down the road and give it as part of your gift on Father's Day with a little note card in the card. I just think that would make for a really nice gift. And I know this is a book that you're going to love because if you're listening to this program, then that's the kind of book you're going to like. This one. There's nothing like it anywhere else. Just saying. And I'm very proud of it because it's now gone to the printer. So they're literally going to be printing books soon. You get in line behind other books at the printing press and so forth, but they're going to be printing books soon. And as soon as I have some...
Ain't much of a war. They don't dare come here and attack. Then Destiny wanting to troll me. Right here I am, Destiny. Come on, bring your dumb ass over here. Whenever you get Wolfie to come up on my panel. Come on up. You're not even Russian. You don't even live over there. I'm from Brazil.
I would try and get in the queue if I were you. Yeah, I want to. It's fun. But I would.
No. Well, first thing is I'm a civilian. I'm not in the military. I don't have to take my hat off when I go inside.
Letitia James College says razzle dazzle real estate queen abused her prosecutorial power. This is important.
Some places you have to wear a hat.
We also have America let its military industrial might wither. Concerned about it for years. We've talked about it here.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Just getting rid of these other tabs here for a second.
Don't be porn bombing me.
I'm not.
Right. I don't want to see anybody's dick. We can talk about their dicks.
Neither do I. I've seen enough of it.
I'd like to kick them in the dick.
Oh, there's a few people I'd like to kick.
Motherfuckers think they're tough, Empress.
Kick them in a few places.
Wow. Destiny trying to troll me.
I haven't seen her around in forever, but I don't really pay attention.
That's Vader's friend.
Yeah, I know who she is, that crazy freaking woman, the drunk one from Brazil.
She's been after Tiffany.
Oh, is she? I didn't even know those two had anything to do with each other.
Tiffany's a card. I don't know what fuck you guys did to that woman, but she's fucking out there.
Do what?
All started when you doxed her home.
Oh, yeah, she went crazy over that. She started threatening me, emailing me, and everything. I ended up having to block her email because of that.
She's a stalker. She's stalking me. Yeah, she wants me to see her. You got an ugly ass, Tiffany, and you got an ugly attitude, and you got a dog face, bitch.
The reason I did that stream was because she started emailing me with my own information and threatening to put it out there. Like, she was threatening to dox me and like saying, here, I have all your shit. And so I'm like, fine, you want to play that way? So I put that fucking stream up. I'm like, fuck you.
I was watching. I see what she does. And then when you slap her back, she cries. She's got to have a whole bunch of people stick up for her. Especially
that's what I just went off on, talking about her shitty fucking trailer park.
You know, her stream, right? She copyrighted me. I did that. I knew she was gonna.
She's tried that with me, but it don't work. You can't get rid of it. It'll come back.
She's very petty. You're very petty, Tiffany. Very, very petty. I'd like to meet your parents, Tiffany.
See, all that stuff's under like Fair Use Act. You can actually make short clips like criticizing or talking back, as long as you don't rip the whole thing off. They don't really have a right to throw a fit over something that's like under 2 minutes long.
She thinks she's teaching me a lesson. Wow. Wow, Tiffany, this is why you can't hold gainful employment, Tiffany. You don't get along with people. Your life has been this fucking YouTube since I met you.
Oh, yeah. Her whole life has been here since I met her, too.
You see Charlie's after me. I don't know what the fucking deal is with Wiggin, but, you know, Wiggin, I'm about to get your head out of your fucking ass, you punk motherfucker. I'm about sick of you, too.
Yeah, he's cloning and attacking me lately. I don't even know why. Not done anything to him.
Well, your trolling you've been doing with JT.
I'm not even JT's friend. Like, I don't understand that. Like, if anything, you should be attacking him. Leave me out of it.
Well, him and Gotti were up on my panel yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I forget now.
I don't talk to Gotti anymore. He takes an attitude with me.
Hey, Mikey Mick, too bad you can't be yourself. Too bad we didn't actually know who you are. What has Gotti been calling you? Musty Snatch? So you stole that name from me. Yeah, bunch of snatch. I put that name to a nice looking girl picture a long time ago. That's all right. That's why I'm here. So, Destiny, now's your chance. Oh, you won't let me talk because you sit there and just repeat yourself. It's not like typing in the side chat.
She does ramble on panel. It's hard to talk around her.
Gets drunk and she just says the stupidest shit. It's like you're in 6th grade, 12 years
Gets
old.
drunk. I've never seen her not drunk. I mean, she just stays drunk.
I'm glad she don't come up on my panel. So are you still friends with Vader?
Not really. I mean, I don't have anything to do with him. I don't talk to him. He's always had like some animosity towards me. Like he gets drunk and then all this fucking shit comes out of his mouth. He's nice 1 minute, then he turns on you. I get tired of it, so I just don't talk to him anymore.
Oh, I'm going to destroy you. He thinks he's Darth Vader.
He does do like a very half-assed fucking persona on that.
Oh, man. Duh.
He's just another drunk.
I mean, look at the stupid shit they post. Look at Mikey Mick. You see that? Yeah,
I have no idea what this is about.
Is that who you are? Munch a Snat? You're in my arena. He would say to me over at Zennies and Wolfies, you're in my arena. Hey, you're in my arena. Well, it's supposed to be war, but it's pretty calm over here. I was actually thinking I just got done eating. I had scrambled eggs for dinner. I got a mug in the freezer for a beer, but it's like really, really nice out. I don't want to sit inside. And I can't sit outside with this and do this. Fucking cars go by, you can't hear shit.
Oh, I'm close to the street too. Luckily it's not a very busy street, so I don't hear too much.
So are you going to survive out of all of this or what?
Oh, I'll survive. Take more than that to kill me.
And what's the deal with that fucking? Oh, I don't even want to say her name, but a guy that fucking calls herself Slayer Cat. Yummy is how you would pronounce it, not Yumi. It'd be Yoomi, you fucking stupid bitch. Yumi. It's Yummy.
I blocked her a long time ago because she just had all this hostility towards me. She's completely anti-Christian, pro-Palestine, pro-Muslim, pro-terrorist. She's a freaking nut job.
She dropped the Palestinian flag a while ago, and in fact I know Rocky Goldman said something to her about it. Thanks.
I don't know. I don't pay any attention to it.
He didn't like it is. She dropped it because I was bitching at her about it. She's not even fucking Palestinian. You know, if somebody come in here and they were from Palestine, then they have a right to fly that flag. Okay? But they're going to be terrorists. There's no.
But it's all political. She's just doing it because of all the political hype.
Right. You know, and Dougie sits there and lets her do it.
She's just a total bird brain. She'll do whatever the media says.
You know, she's a grandma-looking creature, and they're all calling her that because I came up with it. She does. She looks like a fucking grandma.
I did like there were some pictures like Vader had on his channel a long time back of her like with the headdress off, and she was like bald. I thought those were pretty damn funny.
Right over at Zenny's and Wolfie's chat, okay, especially Zenny, right?
Then they have these fake ones of her looking like this good-looking woman, which obviously was not
that's
even
why
her.
they call me Bee-Wee, because that's, you know, they're mimicking Slayer Cat. Bee-Wee, where the fuck are you, King Rob? You fucking pussy motherfucker.
I don't see him around. I only ever see him in Wolfie's or Zenny's.
He's in Wilder Ranch.
Oh no, I do see him there too. That is another place he goes.
He's not very far. He's out there. He'll be all right. I think they want me to fight with Wiggin. Wiggin wants to fight with me. Why does this fucker want to fight with me?
Don't know.
Charlie thinks I'm out here after girl. Do you know, Charlie? I wish you would come up here. Charlie threatened to murder me on Zenny's panel way back a long time ago. He's one of the ones that didn't want me in her chat also. Right in with them fucking idiots. Not allowed to have individuality out here. You got to fucking be part of some group. Oh, FDU. IP2. Elderverse. Well, anyways, I'm in a good mood. I got good pot. That's what I just did. Is rolled a joint. Is listening to Mark Levin and the world news. Guess I can cut the news off for a minute. It don't look like JT wants to come up and confront you. Come on up, JT. You're up here yesterday. Was it yesterday? I forget. I'm not going to ask any questions about Tessa. All I can say about the whole deal is back in Pines and Palms in Florida, that name trolled me a little bit.
She don't like you, and I don't know why. I don't even know why.
I don't even know who the fuck it is. I see whatever pictures you guys had. The one there's a girl laying on a couch sleeping. But
that's not her. That was fake.
Know.
That was fake.
I'm not going to go out there and fucking spend all that time. I don't even know who it is. So what's the sense in even fucking responding? A little bit. I'm pretty good at ignoring people.
She's just crazy. There's something wrong with her. Like, she wanted to go through with this, but then she backed out of it. Like, the screwed up part about it is I wouldn't be here right now if not for JT. Like, if JT had not gotten in between me and her, she really would have meeting me. She was on her way to pick me up when she saw that he had tricked me into putting a live stream up. He basically destroyed my relationship with her.
Let me ask you this. Do you think JC is obsessed with this guy right here?
Which one? The Mickey?
JC. In Canada, in Ottawa, the Canadian.
Yeah, I know JC, but who's obsessed with who?
Do you think JC is obsessed with Billy Hayden?
Yeah, actually I do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not jealous of anything over there. I'm not obsessed. All right. How about it, Wiggin? Come on up and talk to me like a man. Your girl likes to take screenshots. You guys like to sit there, I'm your content. Eating bananas and my fly swatter. You're one dizzy bitch, Alicia. You really are one dizzy fucking broad. Sorry for putting you on the spot, Empress. I hope you're okay, though. If I lived closer, I'd probably hang out with you, but we're 3,000 miles apart. Just do right by your family. Your mother loves you. You love her. That's the most important thing, right? So right now, what it is, there's a big feud between you and Rusty, right?
Not really. I was just mad because she went out of her way to record me. Like she's been compiling shit on me for years, and I've not even done anything to her. Like, I don't talk to her. I don't have anything to do with her. Yet she's still from the shadows, like preparing an attack against me. And then she goes out of her way to stream and publicize my business when it was none of her business. So she's just fucking following me, stalking me, obsessed with me. It pissed me off.
You know why she does that?
Because she's insane.
No, she does that because she's not getting any scrogging. Ain't no man being nice to her and being
that too.
She's not getting any tender loving care. If a man was pleasing a woman, they wouldn't act like that. because Rusty doesn't like me either. Rusty might as well be Tessa. Because obviously she doesn't like Billy Hayden. I don't know what I've ever done to her. Don't you sexualize me. Oh, she got madder than a fuck that day. She sexualizes everybody. And she's a little obsessed with Hey Girl. You know what I mean? It's, you know, it's time to change the drama pattern. Holy fuck. And Scott Canning, he's not really very smart. Your grammar is bad, Scott. You think you fucking know shit. You're like Charlie getting involved with this shit. Oh, why do I care who is fucking who, Empress? Why do I care? Unless my wife is involved, which I'm not married, and that's not happening. I'm not paying some girl to come here. I would if the right one wanted to come. I tried to get CB to do it, but she won't do it. I don't think CB has a man in her life. And she just
no, she doesn't.
She just says things for the shock factor. Oh, I fucked my cousin. Oh, I fucked my cousin. My cousin.
Yeah, that shit was weird. Like that's like saying, like,
you know,
if that happened, that's like one of those things you just take to the grave.
I didn't even respond to that. You know what I mean?
I don't know. You know, it was like some shock value shit. It was very disturbing. I guess some people are just into that incest shit.
You know, I'm just here to have some fun, make a few jokes. They get mad at my jokes, you know, especially Randall. But there you go, Randy. Come on up and porn by me, Randy, will you? That motherfucker, right? He went in the hospital, and that affected his prostate. In fact, that leads to congestive heart. He could very well have had congestive heart failure, and he caught it soon enough. You catch pneumonia, you let it go, you know, right? But, you know, a kidney stone, you know, that can make you septic. Not good. He had blood transfusion. They had them fucking tubes up his nose for a reason. Not getting no oxygen or fluid. Eat a burrito, Randy. And so what he does is he sits around. I mean, at least you're trolling, you know, Tessa, whether Tessa's real or not, you know, what does it matter? But he sits around and he draws pictures of cocks all the time. He likes to watch men suck dick. I don't know what his fucking problem is. Then JC. Charlie saying, my heart is for JC. Oh yeah, I love you. I love you. Yeah. So did you get a lot of views on that when you did that? Obviously, JT was all involved with it. I didn't watch it all.
I didn't really pay attention, and I got rid of all of it, so I don't really know.
And
I'm sure there were a lot, but
you can't help but see what other people are posting about it constantly, you know.
I don't know why so many are invested in my business. It was really nothing. I mean, it was just a day of heartbreak and me being fucked with. Like at that day, it didn't matter. Like I didn't care anymore.
I mean, have you ever told JT about how the trolling went between you and I back when we first met and all? And, you know, how long was Fox 46 up? They were up for at least a year, right?
I don't even remember half that.
That chat went at least for a year, if it didn't go a year and a half, and then they Vegas opened, and then New York, there was the New York chat, and then who opens them chats up, like down in Florida, you know, who had something to do with that chat? You know, who lives? You'd almost have to live in Florida, you know. And I wasn't going to go back to JC's. All right. And Wigan did it again. He coached me back in here. He went up on her panel. So I'm like, all right. And I went up on the panel. And then later on that night, she put me backstage twice now. She did it before. You know, it just, you know, Guitar J, those plants you showed, that ain't shit. You'd fucking cry if I showed you the farm. Yeah, you'd fucking cry. That ain't shit what you got. fucking greenhouse 20 by fucking 40. Nothing but farmers. So what's your interest in current events? Are you paying attention to geopolitics?
No, I haven't. After everything I've been through, I've really I've not been paying any attention to politics or anything. I've not had time for it. I've been too stressed for it.
So all you did, you just had the blanket over you. You didn't show it, right?
I don't remember. I was in such a bad state of mind that day. I would have just done anything.
Were you drinking when you did
No,
that?
I had gotten off a plane. I didn't have any alcohol with me. I didn't have anything. The only thing I had was
you can drink on a plane, right? Probably expensive.
I wasn't going to pay for it. I mean, I just wasn't going to buy any booze on the plane. I could have went out and got some. I just didn't.
No pictures. No dirty fucking pictures, you fucker.
I am here.
Gotti, you owe me a favor.
Okay, hold on. Let me say what I have to say first.
All right, go ahead.
I am here to rub it in your face, Shane, that you lost your big chance, pal. You just fucked up and lost your biggest chance at romance in the world because right now, Vcash and Angie are going on a date and you missed out because it could have been you and Vcash. And now look at you. You're all alone. Vcash and Angie are going out and you're over here with Billy Hayden. You're over here sucking ass.
You make it sound like I want Angie. Like I already met Vcash.
No. I didn't say Angie. I said Vcash. You and Vcash. You wanted Vcash. You didn't want Angie. You wanted Vcash, and you fucking missed the boat, pal. Hey,
no,
JT.
he was always just a friend. That was it. But he doesn't. He's pissed off at me now, and I don't think he's really gonna have anything he'll come back around. He'll simmer down in a while.
JT, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here because I can't stay. I got to go take care of something. Shane, you sucker. Billy, tell me that favor later. JT, I'll see you.
Wait till I tell you what the favor is. You're gonna like it.
Wow, what the fuck is going on here?
Anyways, let me make a statement about Vcash. When he first came in, Mary Burney was all over him. Mary Burney wants Vcash in the worst way. He's cute.
Give me 1 second. I was in the middle of something.
It's Mary Burney. Billy, you got a crack in your cake. That was a hard hit. Okay, Gotti his thing finally left. I don't know if there's a glitch in the system. Sometimes my screen skips or whatever.
So what is going on here? Is Empress up here explaining himself? I don't understand.
No, he come up to talk to me. He wanted to, so I let him up. I've always let Empress up when he comes in. It might have been one time.
I'm just kicking back, relaxing the day. I'm just trying to get away from things. Get this crazy person to leave me alone, which won't leave me alone.
That's a hell of a way to get away from things, by coming right back to it.
Yeah,
I'm not back to anything. I'm doing my own shit.
See, there's Rocky. Hey, Rocky.
You got to know that everything you're doing, Tessa is directly communicate with me about every fucking thing you do. So
yes, I'm well aware of that. You think you're the only one she does that to. She forwards it to every fucking email. Not only that, she makes sure that you know, because I will get the forwarded email because it's in the fucking thing. So I see every email that she's actually sent it to. So she does that so that I know everybody.
Hey, Rocky.
And so you're still complaining about a lack of privacy when you know this and you're still doing it. I don't understand.
She won't shut up about it. She's broken up. She still wants to fuck. I'm just trying to get her to go away.
That's a hell of a way of trying to get somebody to go away. Sending them emails that you want to.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go get my beer.
I'm not sending her anything. I've been doing nothing but fucking with her and bullshitting her the entire fucking step of the way. She just won't stop. She won't leave me alone. It's the same routine as before. Is that I love you. I want to meet you. I'm sorry. Then I hate you. You cheater. Go away. I'm never going to be with you. It goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
So what's next on the agenda? Where do you see yourself going next? By the way,
Back to my old shit.
She wants you to unblock all my accounts. She's
It's not going to happen.
Well, she's not going to leave that guy alone.
What guy? There is no guy.
Her boyfriend.
Sorry if
There
I
is
don't.
no boyfriend.
So Billy, what do you think about all
I spoke to
this?
the guy on Twitter. I spoke to him today. She got pissed off because I went back on Twitter and talked to him. The guy had his fucking Twitter publicized. It wasn't that hard to get a hold of him.
What do you think about all this, Billy? All this Florida stuff. This
I think it's all to amuse yourself. That's what I think.
really.
Yes. I've known
the-
Empress a lot longer than I've known you.
So the guy would waste all that money to fly out there just for a prank? I don't think so.
You never know what these crazy fuckers are gonna do in here.
Well, I did know what he was going to do, which is why he went to Florida.
Well, that's
No, you didn't know anything.
That's his business. Why do I care?
Well, because he publicized that business all over YouTube.
So
He did. He live streamed the whole thing.
So
he sure did.
Did it bother you? Didn't bother
No,
me.
it's not, no, it's not that it's bothering anybody. It's the
Well,
fact
what
that
better way to get her to leave me alone?
it's not private is the point. Well, she hasn't left you alone. So you think by flying out to Florida to meet her and propose to her at a fucking airport, she's going to leave you alone? By fapping in a fucking live stream in a hotel room?
That really
didn't fap to
intrigues you,
anything.
him doing that.
It was nothing but an act. It was just nothing but a mock
That's a
thing. That's
hell of a
all it
way to
was.
get somebody to leave you alone.
No, it seems to be working pretty well.
Not from what I could tell, she's
The
emailing
only way on this platform to
Probably 'cause
stop
he's
anybody-
obsessed with me.
to make somebody leave you alone is not to come into chat.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the only
problem is
way.
the
Don't
problem
come into
is-
chat. Just don't come into chat and nobody will see you.
I would agree with that, Billy, but the problem is this guy is giving this person all of his
Why are
personal
you so
information.
concerned about his business? Don't you have a woman of your own? Maybe you need to pay a little bit of attention.
My woman's fine, Billy. Speaking
Why
of
are you
women,
all
I'm
up
not
in this
giving her
guy's business?
anything.
So I don't understand it. Wait, are you a gay fucker or what?
Billy, are you seriously excusing
Seriously, why are you worried where he's sticking his dick? As long as
He's not sticking
going
his
to
dick in
stay your
anything.
mouth.
He's not
All right?
sticking his dick anywhere.
Well, then why be concerned? Why concern yourself? Why worry about it?
Billy, you got a guy. You got a guy wearing fucking
Is this fucking
pantyhose.
romper room?
No,
Rocky
you got a
Goldman?
guy with a fucking Photoshop fucking video.
got a guy wearing
she
fucking
photoshopped
pantyhose
because
and
I
you're
know the
asking-
fucking video she took it from, and it obviously wasn't me.
Billy, you got a motherfucker wearing pantyhose, fapping on a fucking live stream, proposing in an airport, and you don't seem to think that
No, I got a lunatic
What
who
do you want me to do
requested me to
about
do this shit for
What do
years.
you want
and
me to
years,
do
and
about it,
he
Billy?
shut
What
up
do you do
about it.
about it?
Billy, be his father. Fucking tell
It
him.
was
You know,
all
you
you
fake
want me?
shit
I'm
done
not
to
his
humiliate
dad.
me.
Have to
That's all it
fucking
is.
talk.
It's not really working.
Rocky Goldman's his dad. You fucker.
whichever one of you was supposed to be his fucking father figure, you fuckers failed miserably. I don't know if it was you or Rocky Goldman.
For fuck's sakes, I have live streamed and posted the fucking text and emails a million times of her actually begging me for that shit.
Yeah,
As if it was my idea, my thing.
Happy early 4th of July.
In
And
fact, I have
happy
very
Father's
recent
Day.
ones of her asking for that shit. And she's still never gotten any of it.
Can we
So
just
she
take
had
a
to
moment to
fabricate it.
celebrate this country, this beautiful country that we live in? You know, can we have a moment to celebrate America? Is that too much to ask? Our forefathers didn't die for you to wear pantyhose. That's not why they died.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
No,
Well-
they died so that you fuckers would have the freedom to create fake fucking pictures and videos.
Well,
with your little
technically, they did
Photoshop
die so
shit
we could wear pantyhose.
and get away with it.
That's not what they envisioned. You know, that's not. They would be weeping in their graves right now. That's it. They knew that's what.
Oh,
this
they would. They would when they look at you, JT.
That's where
They
this
would be
country was
weeping.
headed. You know,
That shit like you has been produced out of all this.
you know what? Thank God for the Constitution, though. You know, they want to twist it.
Who's they? Yeah, but the other day you were
The
talking.
libtards.
Let me ask you a question, JT. You say they install presidents. Who is they? So who installed Donald Trump? When you say that they're installed.
Oh shit! You might want to ask. You might want to ask your buddy Wiggin. You know.
No,
the guy.
I'm asking you.
Well, who
You're the one
hell?
who said it. You're the one who said it.
Oh, did I say that? Who knows, man? Maybe it was the fucking Jesuits or the Freemasons or the fucking Rosicrucians. Who the fuck knows?
Okay, here we go. Free. You do realize I'm.
Or maybe it was just the will of the American citizens who put him up there.
Or maybe, yeah. Really, the low levels like you don't know shit. You guys are like, you guys just do community service. That's what you guys do. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course you don't fucking. We're out here serving the community, you know.
We're out here. You're a conscientious objector. What are you talking about?
What am I objecting?
Look it up. Look up what a conscientious objector is. Ask Rocky Goldman. He'll tell you.
I know what it is. I'm asking you. What am I objecting?
I didn't let you up so I can answer your questions. I let you up because you're going to answer my questions. You understand?
Billy, does that work on Wiggin too?
Why are you trying to drag Wiggin in? He's not up here. I'm not talking to Wiggin. I'm talking to you.
Well, he's too afraid to face you these days, it looks like.
Why you always got to obscure and go to something else? I'm talking about you. Would you give your life for this country? Let's take you, whatever your real name is. Today, you got information. Iran they're getting ready to fucking launch that motherfucker. And they actually launched a missile and it's heading for New York City or wherever your hometown may be, where your family is. What are you going to do?
I hope it's right on top of his head. I hope the very tip of that thing hits right on his skull.
Bet you do. So you're asking me what would I do? I'd save the fucking city, wouldn't I? What would any God-fearing American do, Billy?
You're not.
You'd sit there on your ass and not even see it coming. You'd just be vaporized and never fucking know.
You
Well,
follow.
no, you're in the hypothetical. You're saying I would be
a
aware.
good leader. You got to be a good follower, but you got to follow the right people to be a good leader. And you're not doing that, boy.
Who's the leader in this scenario?
You are now. You're on my panel. All right.
Oh,
and you want
you're
to
the
try to
leader.
interject. Wiggins, I'm not talking to Wiggins. I'm talking to you.
Well, Wiggin doesn't want to talk to you.
Would you give your life for your country? Would you to save a whole bunch of other people? You have to give your life to stop a big tragedy. Would you do it?
Why not? Why wouldn't I do that?
Wow, hearing how you talk to Wiggin, you don't really like government. You think our government's all fucked up, and your fucking girl is La Raza, right? There is no such thing as Cinco de Mayo. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
That's
People
what she
like
said.
you are trying to change the Constitution. You don't even vote.
Cinco de Mayo is an American holiday.
You're not. Who's your congressman?
Billy, who's your fucking congressman? You want me to tell you my state?
I know who my congressman is. Who's your congressman?
Oh, so you want me to dox myself?
What do you mean, doctor? What, are you afraid of your own identity?
He is.
No, you want me to dox myself?
You do realize the first general order of a century when you go to boot camp is who goes there? Identify yourself, you dumb fucker.
Yeah, well, those people aren't on the internet.
Those people. Yeah, you think you're one of them.
What do you want, Billy?
I want nothing from you. I got what I want from you. Empress come up here. I let him up, and then bang, there you are. You followed that motherfucker right up on my panel.
But he did. He followed me into my place. He follows me here. He follows me everywhere.
He followed it. You know, Tessa. I don't think Tessa would appreciate that very much.
There is no Tessa. There's nothing here.
Now Tessa doesn't exist. Oh, shit, you sound almost
Rocky. I'm trying to fucking think what I need to do. Excuse me. I think I might drink that whole 6-pack of beer tonight.
Yeah, you might as well have yourself a good time. You know, why not?
JT, you're jealous. Why are you so jealous?
Hell, I could use a beer.
Jealous about what?
Jealous about one thing, you're jealous of Chinchilla.
Oh yeah, what is it? What exactly does he have
Why?
to do?
Why are you concerned? Even if it's a fake woman, why are you concerned about what he's doing?
Trying to help the guy out.
Don't you have something other in your life you could be doing besides worrying about what you think this guy is? Whatever. Why you concern yourself with it?
I could ask you the same thing about me.
No, you're the one doing it. I'm not the one obsessed with some guy meeting some girl.
Well, there is no girl. There's no meet anybody.
I'm not obsessed with some guy who's meeting a non-girl. He's fucking whatever. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?
No, Billy, you sound like you give a fuck right now.
If I had to guess, I'd say he probably wants her docs from me, and he's not going to get it.
You don't have her docs. Cool.
Well, I know that's what it's all about.
You don't need to have anything.
You don't have.
You don't know what I have, and you're never going to know what I have.
I know what you don't have, and you don't have Tessa's docs.
You don't need to know. Don't worry about what I got.
Oh, I already know you don't have it, so there's no need to pretend.
There is no pretending here.
Yeah. Says the guy who used to pretend to be a woman for about 5 years. Yeah.
I never pretended to be anything.
Oh, okay.
For 2 years, people sat there and asked me, are you a guy, man, or a woman? Are you a man or you're a woman? I simply never answered.
I was there for the whole thing.
They assumed shit about me. I simply went along with it.
Probably one of the fuckers that thought he was a woman.
You missed it. I was his number one troll.
You probably thought he was a woman.
All right. No, I knew what was going on. I was laughing about it the whole time. It didn't bother me. I never blocked him. Did we block each other, Empress, back then?
A few times. You blocked me. I blocked you during some fights.
You were probably trying to get some ass.
Yeah, right. And then you had Will Durant, right? Because it was Will Durant cloned you. I didn't. It was a while before I cloned you. And then when I finally did, right? You're Empress Chinchilla. I was Emperor Chinchilla. That was funny as hell, wasn't it?
Wait, so Rocky Goldman is all about making Empress.
Rocky Goldman was there for the whole thing, and he can fucking testify to it, what I say.
Yeah, I don't think anybody denies it.
If Rocky Goldman says you're wrong, Billy, then then I'm going to be wrong about it. But you see, he doesn't. I say shit, and it's true.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's denying that this guy was pretending to be a woman for 5 years. I think everybody pretty much agrees on that.
Nobody cared. Other than Mammy Tammy Big Clammy, she was going to cut his throat with a box cutter.
I remember that. I wish to this day I'd
that's not a knife. And did you see her show herself on JC's?
He lost it. She had a major meltdown, pulling that knife out, stabbing that troll doll. She was going to fucking gut me.
She got the doll, sticking them with fucking pins and shit.
She accused me of she claimed that I had turned my cam on and that I was a black guy. She saw me there. I never had, I didn't even own a cam at that time. How the hell could I turn one on? It was so stupid.
Then the funniest thing out here, ever who does it, Billy's got Obama phones. And I forget who it was that come out. It could have been Holler. I forget who it was. They come out. They finally. I never went to get it. I have no idea what if they're flip phone. What the hell they are? Well, somebody who knows about it can finally up on panel. Right? Said Obama phones don't have cameras on them. They're just They're a cheap phone to make a phone call and a text message. That's it.
Sounds like the ones they hand out for free to people. I mean, I know
why they're called Obama phones.
And you got to go
because they're free ones they hand out to.
I never applied for an Obama phone. JC told me to upgrade. Oh, your mic and all that shit. So I bought Spectrum. I bought the best internet you can get. Then the other day she tried to say my mic wasn't working and shit. You're full of shit.
So I don't know. You and Wigan have this weird love-hate thing with
Why
JC.
are you so interested in my relationship with Wigan? How is that your business?
Your relationship? Are you? What kind of relationship do you have with Wigan?
Yeah, it can be called a relationship. Sure, it is. Why? How is it your business?
Hey, man, if you want to protect your relationship,
ain't no hey, man. No, so. You know,
hey, I didn't know you guys had a relationship. I didn't know that.
Where'd you go to college at, anyways? Because you're fucking brainwashed like a motherfucker.
Brainwashed.
If you
Hey, I
did
didn't know you
go
guys
to
had a
college-
relationship.
If you
I didn't know
did
that.
go to college, you're a liberal fucksuck, is what you are, JT. You really are.
I think you're a fake conservative. That's what I
I'm
think.
not a fake conservative, and actually, I'm a liberal. I'm a libertarian. I am a true libertarian. That is a fact.
You know, the original libertarians didn't trust the government as much as you do.
No, I don't trust the government.
Sure you do. You put all your faith in the government.
All right. Have you ever seen my Facebook page before I started doing this shit?
Why would I have seen your Facebook page?
Oh, you're missing out on something.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure I'm missing out on a lot.
All caps crew is in my chat.
No, but it's the JC thing.
Where are you, Deuterino? Fucker.
I deleted my original Facebook. It was nothing but a fake
It's
name. And a
probably
bunch
still
of,
out there. I don't know. I have fucking 500 email accounts.
well, mine isn't.
I could be all
got
over
rid of it.
Facebook. Not a problem. I could go back into Facebook and, well, what's the sense? It's not. They're fucking useless anyway. It's the sense. This is the platform that needed to be saved, where they ruined it. This fucking YouTube. Fuck you, JT. You punk. You were blocking me. Oh, I blocked spam. You were in my chat as a guest, and you were.
I didn't ruin YouTube.
I blocked stupid.
You can't block yourself.
I don't need to.
But yeah, Billy, don't get mad at me, man. I'm not the one who messed up
Wigan
YouTube.
I do. You and Wigan are always worried about what some guy's doing with his cock.
Actually, that's what
I
you're worried
swear.
about. That sounds to be like what you're worried about.
No, that's right. Wigan does it all the time. I don't sit up on my panel and talk about men's cock. When I joke about queers, I have my own way about it.
It sounds like you and Wigan have a very
Because I'm
complex
much more
relationship.
entertaining. But, yeah, you're worried about what Empress Chinchilla is doing with his dick. What the fuck is the matter with you?
Absolutely not.
Shouldn't you just be worried about what?
Oh,
you're
yes,
doing
you
with
are.
your dick?
You're completely obsessed with it because you keep begging my girlfriend for this fucking shit.
Wigan run around.
Oh, so now
my
she's your
cock
girlfriend.
caused all this. No, Chinchilla's cock causes everything you do right now.
She's jerking you off with my
That
dick,
doesn't
and it's the
make any
weirdest
sense,
fucking
Billy.
shit ever.
You open your
That's
eyes and all you
jerking
see
me
is
off?
Chinchilla dick. That's all he's the high Siberian gal pal. I might have a second beer. It's been a while since I've had more than
You
one.
should have a second beer, I think.
Fuck,
This
I'd
is-
have one, but it's just too early for me.
This is tough because I knew right from the beginning that Rain was friends with Wolfie.
Well, that's why you wanted her on your panel, isn't it?
So, no, they dubbed me. They're the ones that dubbed themselves Billy's Angels. See, you weren't there, and you're sticking your nose somewhere where it doesn't belong. Why don't you take Rusty's advice and mind your own fucking business?
Yeah, you coined
That's
that.
no. You. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. You got your start here. You came here. Nobody. These other people didn't really know who you were. You were in them other chats and whatever other platform you might have
Oh, they
been
know
on,
now.
right? But you guys came here.
She was streaming before you.
Oh, really? Not with this group of people.
She was streaming before you.
Not with this group of people. No.
What group?
These. All right, I'll say it. Elderverse. How you like that?
Elderverse. See what
like that? All right. In actuality, this is JujuBot crew, Gramps crew.
No, we
They would
started.
never let me have a wrench
anymore.
there. Though everybody else in them fucking chats had a wrench, but me, they wouldn't give me no fucking wrench. Remember that, Rocky? I didn't get no wrench. They wouldn't let me have no fucking wrench. Siberian Galpow was there. She knows too.
Elder. Why do they call you guys Elderverse?
You know, Siberian Galpow, the younger generation, they need to have more respect for us older people, don't they?
That's right, Vader.
This
That's
motherfucker
exactly.
he's a sincere, ignorant little fart. Siberian Galpow, he really is.
Vader got it right.
Go ahead, you got the floor there, JT.
No, I'm just listening.
I'm gonna go put my beer mug back in the freezer because I'm gonna have a second beer.
Oh, God.
You probably. Do you play chess, Chinchilla?
Chess? Not in a while. Problem is I don't ever lose. It gets boring.
You say what?
Said problem is I don't ever lose. It gets boring.
Ah, you don't ever lose. Well, that is a problem.
I have to play these like really advanced bots to even have like a challenge.
Oh, good grief. Speak of the little boy and he appears. Did you want to come up, Vader? Vader, did you want to come up on my panel? There's the link. Come on up, Vader. Right there.
So it's safe to assume if you and I played a game of chess, I assume you think you would win?
You'd lose miserably. That or stalemate. That's the way it always ends.
You want to test that out?
Sure, why not?
Where do you play?
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna pull that trick on me where you get one of those really advanced robots and then punch my move into it and see what the robot does and then make that move?
That's probably something you would.
You know that wouldn't work on me because I can already beat those bots.
That's probably something you would do.
JT, you do realize that Wiggin is afraid of me. If we were like in the same room and I actually wanted to beat him up, he'd fucking run. You know that, right?
I believe that.
He just gets away with shit here he normally wouldn't be able to get away with.
He's frail.
Do you understand that?
I do. I don't know if he understands that.
Well, you probably shouldn't be concerned what he understands.
If you really want to make it fun, try playing it. No, handicap yourself. Start the game, but play without a rook or bishop. It makes it really fun.
You'd never beat me in a game of chess. Never.
Assuming you both weren't using software to cheat, I'm fairly certain. I beat you both.
You do realize, JT, that I would peel you like a potato, right?
Could you make that sound any more gay? Billy, I'd fucking wipe the floor with you.
No, you wouldn't.
And Chinchilla.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Turn your camera on and do 10 push-ups.
You were talking about chess.
You can't turn your camera on. Fuck chess.
He's just trying to sound intelligent or sophisticated.
No, that game's for when you
like having a monkey ask me, "You want to play chess?" Right? No, I don't.
I wanted to see you come up and help load up the wood for sugar season.
No, you can actually play on.
You ever been to a sugar shack? You ever work on a farm?
Have you, Billy?
Yes, I grew up on a farm. I am a farmer.
You're a farmer right now?
Mhm.
It doesn't look like a farm where you are.
Well,
Just
farms
play
outside.
Monopoly. Have more fun with that.
You know, if I was really smart, I'd probably fly out to Florida to
If
meet
you were
somebody.
really smart,
Yeah,
and does
to
that
meet somebody
does
I've
that mean
never.
you're not? See
Yeah.
that he said if he was really smart.
If
Let's take a poll. Does anybody think JT is really smart? Press
Yeah, let's
one if
take
you
a
think.
poll on what a bunch of
Press
fucking
one if you
idiots.
think this fucking young dumb full of cum guy is fucking smart.
Yeah,
Go
let's
ahead,
take a
porn
poll
one.
by a bunch of idiots.
All right, yeah, come on. Let me see you do 10 push-ups. I bet you
Well,
can't.
You're
I
never
bet you
going to get over that, are you?
I bet you can't do it. No, you got you got acid trip to do them. So you helped me get that fucking idiot to do push-ups, and he couldn't do it. Twice he tried it, and it was fucking fun to watch. Let me see you do 10 push-ups.
Yeah, Billy, nobody's going on camera for you.
I can do 10 push-ups right now if I wanted to.
You want to do 10 push-ups?
I could do 10 push-ups and then peel you like a potato, yes.
Peel me like a potato. Okay.
I'll pretend you're a potato, and I just peel you. So everybody wants to know, since your girlfriend is La Raza and all that, are you Catholic?
Billy.
No. So what I'm getting to is, are you circumcised? Are you cut or are you
Jesus Christ, Billy. Of course you'd want to know something like that.
Well, of course I want to know. Are you cut or uncut?
Oh, Jesus. I'm not even gonna fucking answer that, Billy.
Well, I mean, you should have asked Empress if he's cut or uncut, since you talked
Why
about
the
his back
fuck
on
do
the
I
bed.
care if
You were worried
somebody
about
says
what he was
something?
doing with his dick. I'd be the first
It
thing.
sounds like you're really worried about mine.
I don't really want to do a Jewish
you
guy.
don't have a dick, there's nothing to worry about there.
There's the guy wearing pantyhose. Okay.
I hope the chief
They-
of
they
police
say-
in
say
my
the guy
village
with the
isn't watching
Photoshop
this.
fucking pic.
They know I'm crazy.
You got to come up with something better than something fake.
Everybody's waiting for you to make them laugh, JT. You got the floor.
I think they're waiting on you, Billy.
They're already laughing. I've already told enough fucking jokes at the minute.
Well, they just got to look at your face and they'll have a good laugh.
Chess is all about geometry. If you're good in geometry, you'll be a good chess player. I haven't played a game of chess in years.
Chess has nothing to do with geometry.
I had a friend come over once in a while and we play chess.
It's more to do with strategy and tactics, not geometry.
And I see somebody talking about the other day, you can't, the best you can do is put somebody in checkmate and it takes 4 moves.
Yeah, that person would have to be really bad to let you do that.
I guess I could turn Mark Levin back up.
Yeah, you might as well. Or you guys can have a conversation.
Nah, it's early. It's 7:52. Oh, we're waiting for you. You come.
No,
you
I was
come
just
up
here to
after
listen.
Chintz. You know what I mean? What else you got to say to him?
No, I was just listening to you guys. Pretend I'm not even here.
You're not here.
See?
Nah, it takes 4 moves, Tom. Because you got to move a pawn out. You got to move your pawn out.
We can actually play on StreamYard.
And if you know how to do it with the knights, you bring your knights out. But it takes 4 moves. You just hope and pray that they move the wrong pawn. You bring your knight out. Yeah. If you can understand how to use the knights, you're gonna win. I haven't played it. Yeah, JT, you have no idea what it's like to be at sea for 90 days, and when it's not work time and you got a little bit of time off, what you're gonna do because you're at work all the time. So there's chess clubs and you have poker nights and movie nights and all that shit.
I can imagine the kind of things you were doing.
Yeah. Well, you could never do what I did. You can disparage. You can
I'm gonna
disparage
take off
my.
for a bit.
All right, Empress. You can disparage my military service all you want. It doesn't
Well,
matter.
hey, at least you're not stolen valor like Wigan. So at least I can say that.
How do you know? How do you know Wigan is stolen valor? How can you possibly know that? He's never showed his DD 214.
Don't you ever wonder why?
No.
No.
If he doesn't want to show his DD 14, he doesn't have to. No big deal. I showed mine. I showed by you can show it without showing pertinent information.
Charlie's shown his. You've shown yours.
I've never seen Charlie's DD 214. No, Charlie's.
Well, he showed it.
The one he did said E4 on it. So, what does that have to do with you? Like, what have you done that's risky like that, or something hard to achieve? And graduating from college with a bachelor's degree, that's something hard to achieve. Yes, it is. It takes dedication to get a college education and then go on from there. Because I spent 11 years in the Navy. And I joined when I was 18. So it makes me wonder what you were doing when you were in your 20s. Been in fucking YouTube all this time. 15 years you've been in YouTube.
Yeah, people will have YouTube.
I didn't join YouTube until 2017.
They didn't have YouTube.
All right, you got nothing else to say? I'm fucking going back to Mark Levin. What time is it? 7:55. Side chat's open, guys. Anybody want to come up? Just ask for the link. Ooh, papa.
At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice, no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio and Dallas, Texas.
Let's be honest, most of us never think about their garage door until it breaks, and then it's panic mode. That's why I count on Wellborn Garage to keep mine running smooth, quiet, and reliable. It's Hawkeye, and a broken garage door isn't just something that's annoying, it's also a safety risk. Wellborn's 5-star service keeps yours running smoothly with same-day repairs. Say Hawkeye when you book and get the Hawkeye 100. $100 toward anything at Wellborn. Scheduling is easy. Just go to paulwellborngarage.com.
Open the door, quality and more.
Yeah, Siberian Gal Pal lives close to Washington, D.C.
Take away their health care, give a big tax cut to the wealthy. This Marxist crap really makes me sick to my stomach. Jen, that would be Jen Psaki. How the hell does she get a TV show when she worked in the government? But that's what loads up most of the media, quite frankly. Well, what did Kelly say? He said the same Marxist claptrap, taking money. Who exactly under this tax bill that's being proposed is money being taken from? Who is is money being taken from? It's not being taken from anybody. It's a tax cut across the board. So who are they taking money from? Kelly. Well, he may have been an astronaut, but he could never be a brain surgeon, or that much I do know, or a rocket scientist. I'll be right back.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for your clear insight.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
This is a major wake-up call.
Making sense of the news.
Let's be honest, most of us never think about their garage door until it breaks, and then it's panic mode. That's why I count on Wellborn Garage to keep mine running smooth, quiet, and reliable. It's Hawkeye, and a broken garage door isn't just something that's annoying, it's also a safety risk. Wellborn's 5-star service keeps yours running smoothly with same-day repairs. Say Hawkeye when you book and get the Hawkeye 100. $100 toward anything at Wellborn. Scheduling is easy. Just go to callwellborngarage.com.
Open the door to quality and more. Wellborn Garage Doors.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice, no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio and Dallas, Texas.
Former U.S. Navy SEAL Sean Ryan captures real stories about sacrifice and strength.
We go into this hooch searching for Christ knows what.
Regardless if anybody else does it, will you do it?
There's a lot of things that are hurtful and disturbing.
Can't get anybody to talk about it.
Uncovering truth with the heroes who live to tell it.
There's a saying, there's no atheists in Foxville.
That was the hardest part for you coming home.
What?
How'd you get through it?
I worked hard.
The Sean Ryan Show.
You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of your morning.
Lots of coverage here on that developing story.
O'Connor and Company. Weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Larry O'Connor here getting you through your morning.
Making sense of Washington.
Asking some very specific questions, some legitimate questions.
Making sense of the double standard.
Then here's the latest example.
Making sense of the headlines.
Let me break it down for you, because there's plenty to break down here.
O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor. Mornings from 5 to 9. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. Illuminating the issues.
There's a whole lot missing here in this story, isn't there?
Every day.
Why are we the only ones reporting this?
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news. WMAL FM, Woodbridge, Washington. A Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
Friend of mine used to raise huskies. I don't know. I think he sold 5 litter. He had 5 litters. Yeah, Siberian huskies make a good pet. They shed like crazy.
Of America, which will even further secure the steel industry in the United States. Nobody's going to get around that.
Speaking at a U.S. steel facility in Pennsylvania as part of an event to celebrate a multi-billion-dollar agreement between the American steelmaker and Japanese-owned Nippon Steel, which he says will allow U.S. steel to continue to be controlled by the USA. The president also saying the deal will create thousands of jobs.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. U.S. Steel has not publicly communicated any details of the plan to investors. Nippon Steel released a statement approving of a partnership but has not disclosed the terms. Earlier today, the president said China is breaking a tentative agreement to lower tariffs but didn't detail what the violation was.
But I'm sure that I'll speak to President Xi and hopefully we'll work that out. But yeah, there's a violation of the agreement.
Before the deal, tariffs on Chinese imports were 145%. The deal reduced them to 30%. China lowered its tariff to 10% from 125%. A man in the U.S. illegally who's accused of writing a threatening letter to President Trump may have been set up. Earlier this week, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem released the letter she said was written by Ramon Morales Reyes. The letter said that he would self-deport after he shot the president. But now investigators say the letter was not written by him after getting a handwriting sample which didn't match. His attorney says Morales Reyes, who is from Mexico, can't even write in Spanish, let alone English, which he doesn't speak. America is listening to Fox News.
Tornado Watch on for the DMV. I'm Sharon Reardon from the Novak Motors News Desk. Good evening. We're among 22 million people on the East Coast under a tornado watch until midnight.
From southeastern Pennsylvania, Philly, southern Jersey, all the way down into northern parts of North Carolina. This runs until midnight tonight. A lot of spin in the atmosphere, and the storms that become strong can rotate and perhaps produce tornadoes. Most of these storms have the potential to produce wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour.
Fox Weather's Ian Oliver, the National Weather Service, says we could also see hail the size of ping pong balls. A flood watch is in effect through early tomorrow morning. Police have converged on the abandoned Key Bridge Marriott in Rosslyn numerous times, including in March of 2023, to clear out squatters from the building. Tomorrow, the Arlington County Police Department's SWAT team will be there, and they'll be training inside the building on Langston Boulevard to ensure they're prepared to respond to any public safety incident in the county or region. Just a heads up, you will see police cars, officers, and hear noise coming from inside the building. That training set to run from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow. And despite Governor Glenn Youngkin's stance against sanctuary cities, Alexandria is doubling down on its position as just that.
Virginians have been suffering. Every state is a border state.
Despite Governor Glenn Youngkin's consistent views against sanctuary cities, Alexandria Mayor Leah Gaskins released a statement emphasizing her city's unwavering commitment to all residents. In D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser would like council to repeal their sanctuary city law, which bans MPD from asking for legal status or releasing immigrants to ICE. Democratic Congressman Adriano Espaillat of New York, troubled by this, tells 7 News.
I think to deputize our local police officers as federal agents is a great mistake.
Scott Lynn on WMAL and WMAL.com.
WMAL News Time is 8:04. I'm Sharon Reardon, and now here's your WMAL traffic and weather from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
WMAL traffic. This update has Alexandria dealing with a right lane blockage with a report of a disabled vehicle on the outer loop of the Beltway between Alexandria's 177 and the Woodrow Wilson Memorial Bridge, adding moderate outer loop traffic fare. Traffic backed up as far back as Telegraph Road's exit 176. Landover reporting a right lane blocked with a disabled vehicle in Prince George's County on Landover Road southbound at the Beltway. I'm Dr. Gavin Montgomery. Now, from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, strong to severe storms possible. A potential for 1 to 2 inches of rain and flash flooding, lows around 58. Tomorrow, a chance of rain, breezy with highs in the upper 60s.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice, no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry. The name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio and Dallas, Texas.
Let's be honest, most of us never think about their garage door until it breaks, and then it's panic mode. That's why I count on Wellborn Garage to keep mine running smooth, quiet, and reliable. It's Hawkeye, and a broken garage door isn't just something that's annoying, it's also a safety risk. Wellborn's 5-star service keeps yours running smoothly with same-day repairs. Say Hawkeye when you book and get the Hawkeye 100. $100 toward anything at Wellborn.
Give me a second, Randy.
Just go to call Wellborn.
Randy's in my backstage. I just noticed him. He hasn't made a comment yet. We let Fat Boy up, I guess. You're up. Only thing is it's blocked. Huh? You got you gotta unmute your mic. All right.
Really bad. His toes were nasty.
Hey, yellow toe fungus.
He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com.
Randy was just in my backstage, but he just
But whatever you do, don't let it get worse.
he just likes to
Don't
make
have
his
live with
presence
this anymore.
known.
Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811.
It's the last hour of the week, unfortunately. I love doing what I do. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I'm very lucky. Well, let's see what we have here. The New York Slimes, of all places. But you haven't heard this today either. America let its military industrial might wither. China's is booming. By John Emont, E-M-O-N-T, and Daniel Michaels. Adapting to the dual challenge of China's military and its economy has been a focus of U.S. administration for years. America is losing ground. This is frightening. Frightening. Modern warfare is a contest of industrial might, as Russia's invasion of Ukraine has shown. Both sides are burning through arsenals of artillery shells, rockets, and military vehicles. Automated factories now spit out drones day and night. Even an old-fashioned howitzer requires precision manufacturing. The U.S. won World War II in part by producing more of everything, from bullets to food, than its enemies. One California shipyard in 1942 assembled a supply ship in less than 5 days. America is no longer capable of that kind of manufacturing feat, and this is what is upsetting and concerning President Trump. Today, the country that can make the most of almost everything is China. Its products run the gamut, from basic chemicals to advanced machinery. With tensions rising between the U.S. and China, the two countries' industrial capability is coming into focus as a key battleground in any conflict. China's economic growth has allowed it to build a military that rivals the U.S. A single Chinese shipbuilder last year, ready, produced more commercial ships by tonnage than the entire U.S. shipbuilding industry has made since World War II. Let me repeat that. A single Chinese shipbuilder last year produced more commercial ships, just one shipbuilder, by tonnage than the entire U.S. shipbuilding industry has made since World War II, according to the Center for Strategic and International Studies. The scale of China's commercial shipbuilding subsidizes its production of naval vessels, and in a war, capacity should be shifted from freighters to warships. So in addition to their military shipbuilding, their naval vessels, they can ship from commercial shipbuilding right into military naval shipbuilding.
Oh, this is fucked up.
Since 2000, China's built more than twice as many naval vessels as the United States, according to defense intelligence company Janes. Janes is the best. China's Air Force and Navy are closing the gap with the U.S., though many American platforms are considered more advanced than their Chinese counterparts. Many of China's manufacturers aren't in the military sector, but can easily be repurposed to arms making or support in a war. China not only has more factories, it's also modernizing them faster with technologies such as 5G private networks for automation. That means it can more quickly and efficiently link manufacturing equipment to designers and users, updating products at speeds that traditional manufacturing cannot achieve. In Ukraine, constant feedback from frontline troops to drone makers has allowed the country to make rapid advances in robotic aircraft. They're talking about China making that. That also means China can more easily accelerate production. The country has far more industrial robots, too, supplementing its enormous labor advantage. Frightening, isn't it, Mr. Producer? Wars aren't just about military equipment. Every plane, ship, and tank needs fuel, spare parts, and ammunition.
Fucking weird.
Their crews need food, water, medical care. Those support functions entail vast logistics networks, most of which rely on ships. And China has more of the vessels needed to sustain troops than we do. Even if the U.S. is able to expand its fleet of commercial cargo ships, it lacks sailors to staff them. By some estimates, the U.S. now has fewer than 10,000 commercial sailors, though the number is uncertain because the government stopped tracking them years ago. China has almost 200 times as many merchant mariners. China also has more of the raw materials needed for modern warfare. The country's control of the world's rare earth mines and processing plants. This is why the deal with Ukraine was so crucial. I said it at the time, a stroke of genius by Trump. That's why it was so crucial. And that is these rare earth minerals and processing plants needed to build missiles, planes, and submarines would allow it to more easily replenish losses in an extended conflict. Chinese companies have largely brushed off U.S. attempts to loosen their grip on the world's critical minerals. If the U.S. faced a major conflict, it would need to reorient industries and workers as it did in the two world wars of the 20th centuries. China's workforce is already in position with an army of manufacturing workers that dwarfs other nations. That's why these isolationists are killing us.
Something ain't working
at a time
right.
when we need to be thinking
This
about
fucker
building
ain't
up our
working right.
military.
Something ain't working
Not
right.
because we're warmongers, but because we're not. If we don't get to this, we're not going to catch up. And whoever thought we have to play catch up with the communist Chinese?
I can turn it
military?
down.
We do. Meanwhile, what are the House Democrats up to? No damn good. From the Jewish Insider.
Why is this
22
fucker
House
doing this?
progressives, aka Marxist bastards, push unprecedented
Something
new
ain't right.
restrictions on U.S. aid to Israel. This obsession, this relentless obsession with the Jews and Israel just shows you how sick these people are. A group of 22 left-wing House Democrats introduced legislation pushing for a series of sweeping and unprecedented new restrictions on U.S. aid to Israel, requiring specific authorizations from Congress for each transfer of numerous key weapons and guarantees from Israel about their use. The legislation would prohibit the administration
let's
from
use
transferring
him.
or
Fuck
selling
it.
a series
You
of
see what
arms to
this-
Israel, including several types of bombs, bomb guidance kits, and tank and artillery ammunition without the passage of a distinct law
Some
from
ain't
Congress
right.
authorizing the individual.
See what
transfer.
this.
You know, the enemy in the Middle East, there are no restrictions.
Like
When
it
the
says-
communist Chinese, when the fascistic Russians, when the inbred in North Korea and the rest of them.
Yeah, I'm talking about my phone. Something ain't right.
Military equipment,
I have
bombs, artillery.
I have an
whatever you wanna
account, a wrench on it.
into Iran.
Yeah, it's but it my screen does that. If I could, they shouldn't be doing that. So it might be the phone's not. I might need a new phone.
People like this are going to say, you know what? Let's stop being allies with the United States. Look, China's outpacing them on military.
Right,
They're
showing
putting
me
all these
it's
restrictions on us.
It's fucked up.
They're isolationists. They won't come to our defense, but they expect us to come to their defense. I mean, it's getting ugly out there, America. The bill would require
Something ain't
Congress
right.
those authorizations to identify, quote, the specific purpose or purposes for which such articles or services may be used. And it goes on and on and on. Bradley Bowman, Senior Director of the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies, Center on Military and Political Power. That's a fantastic organization. We have some fantastic organizations. That's one of them. A former Senate staffer told Jewish Insider the bill would be an extraordinary measure targeting Israel alone among all nations.
See if
In a
this
unique manner
does
with
it.
the clear purpose of depriving Israel of some of the munitions it needs most. It is among some of the most concerning anti-Israel legislation we've seen in years.
No, I'm seeing
What
your
Israelites are behind us? What
I'm seeing your
Marxists
post just fine.
are behind us? What Jew haters are behind us? Delilah Ramirez, Democrat, Illinois. Sarah Jacobs, Democrat, California. Pramelia Jayapal.
You see, that shouldn't be on my window right there.
Mark Pocan, Democrat, Wisconsin. Becca Balint, Democrat, Vermont. Andre Carson, Democrat, Indiana.
Because I can pull that up where all I see are the comments.
Lloyd Doggett,
Yeah, I don't see my
Democrat,
panel.
Texas. Veronica Escobar, Democrat, Texas. Maxwell Frost, Democrat, Florida. Chuy Garcia, Democrat, Illinois. Jonathan
New phone.
Jackson, Democrat,
You're getting old.
Illinois. Hank Johnson, Democrat, Georgia. Summer Lee, Pittsburgh. Democrat, Pennsylvania. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat, New York. Ilhan Omar, Democrat, Minnesota. Ayanna Pressley, Democrat, Massachusetts. Jan Schakowsky.
Let's see.
She's not a self-hating Jew. There aren't any. Democrat, Illinois. Latifah Simon, Democrat, California.
All right.
Rashida Tlaib, Islamist, Michigan. Nadia Velasquez, Democrat, New York. And Bonnie Watson Coleman, Democrat, New Jersey. That name may sound familiar. She was
It's working all right now.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business.
I switched
But when it comes
accounts
to
too.
results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Dallas, Texas.
Let's be honest, most of us never think about their garage door until it breaks, and then it's panic mode. That's why I count on Wellborn Garage to keep mine running smooth, quiet, and reliable. It's Hawkeye, and a broken garage door isn't just something that's annoying, it's also a safety risk. Wellborn keeps yours running smoothly with same-day repairs. Say Hawkeye when you book and get the Hawkeye 100. $100 toward anything.
How about it, Sebastian?
Just go to paulwellborngarage.com.
I think you had a major accident with that liposuction machine. There's somebody stuck in your ear or something.
Toe fungus. You got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both.
Sorry, I'm so boring, Siberian gal pal, but that's my TV.
You can check it out.
I listen to the news.
Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
We are the American Cancer Society, making strides against breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast cancer movement in the country? Sign up today at makingstrideswalk.org.
The Rich Eisen Podcast Network.
Overreaction Monday. I'm Rich Eisen along with Chris Brockman.
Hello.
What the football?
Welcome to No
I wonder if it'll do it on this other device.
And the flagship Rich Eisen Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
It's so vitally important that we have Leukemia Lymphoma Society on our side, be the front runner.
I even know the account that
To give help, visit
Doug put a wrench on. I'm coming with it right now.
Pure Talk, my wireless company, a veteran-led company, believes every man and woman who has faithfully served this country deserves to proudly fly an American flag that was made in America. That's why Pure Talk.
Yeah, that's the account I have a wrench on.
The highest quality American
Doug's
flag
chat.
ever. To 1,000 U.S. veterans in time for.
But this one's not. This one's not doing it. So it's the phone.
Today. Know that you're supporting a company that will be providing these high-quality flags made in America to deserving veterans with plans from just $25 a month for unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data. You can enjoy America's most dependable 5G.
They can block that account all they want. It ain't gonna do them no good.
In half. The average Pure Talk family saves over $1,000 a year. Just dial #250, say the keyword Mark Levin, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will get you switched hassle-free in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial
Alfalfa.
50 and say Mark Levin to switch to a wireless company that supports our veterans. Switch to Pure Talk.
Making sense.
That beer actually made me hungry.
News Talk 105.9 WN.
Did I eat eggs?
Making sense of the news. WMAL, making sense of social media. Because big tech can't be trusted. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
So it's this phone.
The head Islamo Nazi, not the head, I guess the number 2, the president of Iran, he said, "We will never stop uranium enrichment. We'll never stop it." Isn't that the core to the whole thing? Over at our Breitbart site, our friends over there, Francis Martel, Iranian President Mossad Pezeshkian proclaimed in remarks to Oman TV yesterday his country would, quote, never stop uranium enrichment, unquote, claiming
It's necessary for health, agriculture, and industry. Now, this is a regime that slaughters its own people. Its people are starving, while the head Islamo-Nazis are making a fortune, just like with Hamas, just like with these other regimes, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. He also reiterated Tehran's claims that the true ruler of the country, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, had issued a fatwa, a religious edict, against building nuclear weapons. Well, these people lie. They just lie. And that's part of, we talked to Zuhdi Jasser about it here and elsewhere. It's in my new book. It's part of who they are. That's part of what they do.
Yeah, his phone don't want to work right.
It is a very important part
Fucking
of
screen's
their ideology.
bleeding or something.
The ruler put out a fatwa. We
The
can't
fuck?
build nuclear weapons. No. We're not going to build nuclear weapons. No. It's a fatwa. Well, that's very interesting.
Fatwa!
Because I want to tell you, and I touched on this a little while ago, I want to tell you, let me look it up here. It's in the book. Oh, yes, it's on page 54. Right here. It's the word, and I will spell it for you and then pronounce it. Taqiyya. 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 Writing in the Middle East Quarterly,
You have to
Raymond
subscribe
Eberlin
to this
explains that
motherfucker.
according to Sharia, the body of legal rulings that
Yeah, it's
defines how
fucking
Muslims should behave in all circumstances, deception is not only permitted in certain situations, but may be deemed obligatory in others. In his book, Disinformation in Islam, Professor Sami Makaram, a former Islamic studies professor at the American University in Beirut, writes, Taqiyya is of fundamental importance in Islam. Practically every Islamic sect agrees to it and practices it. Now, we can go so far, he writes, as to say that the practice of taqiyya is mainstream in Islam, and that those few sects not practicing it diverge from the mainstream. Taqiyya is very prevalent in Islamic politics, especially in the modern era. I'm reading from page 55, my new book on power. In Islam, writes Ibrahim, war against the infidel, that would be you, is a perpetual affair, until, in the words of the Quran, all chaos ceases and all religion belongs to God. In his entry on jihad from the Encyclopedia Islam, Emil Tayyan states, the duty of the jihad exists as long as the universal domination of Islam has not been attained. Got that? Then I write, among other things, this explains why Iran enters negotiations urged by the West. I told you this book is heavy in philosophy and principles and heavy in application to current events. And signs non-proliferation agreements it has no intention of complying with, as the West deludes itself and Iran lies and deceives its way to a nuclear breakout. Taqiyya. A word I'm sure you never heard of before, most. And that's why this is important. And this book is so crucial, I think. I mean, we go from everything from the judges to taqiyya and so forth and so on. And what is the tightest book I've ever written? Think about that. And so this is a lie. When they say a fatwa or religious edict against building nuclear weapons, that Khamenei put it out. It's a lie. And while the Iranian regime regularly makes this assertion, it has never produced any documentation or other proof that such a fatwa exists. And good for Francis Martel at Breitbart for pointing that out. It's a lie. And these comments from the phony president of the Islamo-Nazi regime follow 5 rounds of talks between the Iranian regime and the administration, intended to hatch out an agreement on Iran's nuclear development. See, my feeling on this is they're not going to comply with anything that they agree to. So we need to be prepared for that. My feeling also is that we should be shoulder to shoulder with Israel and the United States as allies, and as close as allies as you can get. both of whom have an enormous interest in the Middle East, that whatever is agreed to, that the president and the prime minister of Israel both agree to it. We cannot have any distance between the two men now. This is a common enemy. That's my view. Keep Turkey in mind. You should keep Turkey in mind. We will never stop uranium enrichment, says the Islamo-Nazi president, to use for diagnostics and treatment, health and agriculture, industry. So this is the setup, you see. It's going to be used for civilian purposes. That's not why they're doing this. They don't give a damn about their people. The Iranian state outlet Press TV, which translated the interview, added that the president claimed that no one could deny Iran its right to enrich because science belongs to all people who have the right to use technology and scientific capabilities. Again, as I pointed out for so long now, they're using the North Korean standard here. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Insisted his country's uranium enrichment, which it is conducting at levels far higher than necessary for civilian use, was not a threat to a world, as the Islamic Republic is not after nuclear weapons. What a friggin' liar. Based on the fatwa, the leader of the Islamic Revolution, Iran has never
he
been
says
and
all
will
the
never
time.
be seeking to produce or attain. This, what I told you, this tafiyah, which goes to the heart of this regime, this tafiyah means they will lie, can lie about everything and anything if it involves the destruction of the West. And that is exactly what's taking place and has been taking place. We'll be right back.
My friends, you've worked hard your whole life. You've paid your taxes, raised your families, played by the rules. But now you're looking around and wondering, what happened to the country I love?
Yeah, here too. I'm going to take off. 5 people watching. I'm going to end it, everybody. Then I'll be back later. Friday night, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a hot shower.
Association of Mature American Citizens come in.
So I'll be back later.
Senior organization that
Thanks for coming,
aligns
everybody.
with
I
your
appreciate
values,
it.
Faith, freedom, and common sense. Just $16 a year. Just $16 a year. Wow. You'll join a